Good morning, everyone, or good evening, or good afternoon, wherever you are and whenever you're watching this video. This is a raw video. I'm not going to edit it. Whatever I'm going to face, we will face it together and we'll resolve it. What I'm going to show you in this video is a little bit advanced way of using N8N automation platform, especially their AI agent node is an amazing tool that reduces your time of developing AI agents dramatically. Before that, I'd like to tell you who am I and what do I do. I'm a software engineer with 23 years of experience, 8 years of that in AI ML, 2 years of that building AI agents. I was running a startup building an AI agent for in-car user experience, a voice AI agent that knows your tools and on behalf of you performs tasks on your tools. By the way, I'm not just an AI agent builder, I'm also a father of two, and what you see behind me is literally a house that I built from cardboard for my dear son Ash, and he loves this. And we have a weekend project the next weekend. This is kind of like, I don't know, 6 months old or so. So now he is bored from this, and what we want to do this weekend is we want to convert this into a vending machine. This was his idea. So wish me luck with that, and wish me luck with this. So let's start. Everything starts from zero. So almost everyone on the internet having interest in AI agents should know this tool. It's a Berlin-based startup. I really like this story of this company. At least I know the founder of the company. I'm not sure if the founder of the company knows me or not. It's a Berlin-based, as I said. The founder introduced this concept of fair source. It's a kind of open source, but they go in a way that if you use it, then it's fair to give them some money or something like that. So how did I get to know them is that I was running this company called VoiceKit, and we needed such an orchestration layer because our voice interface needed to be connected to so many tools around. And what we ended up is in Bits and Pretzels conference, having a conversation with Make.com. Make.com is basically another orchestration layer or an integration automation layer, kind of a better version of Zapier. And we found out, I don't exactly remember, but something like 20,000 or 50,000 euros per year of a license if we can make a white label solution out of that. And that was how I ended up finding N8N. This is like 3 years ago, I think, or 2.5 years ago. And then, maybe no, 2 years ago, somewhere in mid-2023 I found this, so 1.5 years ago. And then I was checking things out with this, and now after 1.5 years, I come here on this platform. It looks a totally different beast. It has a lot of cool features, especially this feature that we have for creating AI agents. It's awesome. Like the amount of tools that you get from this is great. By the way, this tutorial is not intended for the very beginner users, although I'm not so familiar with N8N platform myself, but as a very advanced programmer or senior programmer, I think I should find my way out. But in order to find what is N8N, there are a lot of great tutorials out there on YouTube, so you can find out there. What I'm trying to do with this tutorial is to do something which probably is a solution that a lot of people will need, is that you have your N8N automations running, and how can you, at least for the development, for this one, I'm going to use, let's say, a Node.js script. How can you do this connection? That's basically it. To be honest, the best would be that we say workflow 1, because the beauty of this would be that it triggers another workflow, because these are it will not create like a stateful, will create a stateless so that it can be it can be scaled. All right, so then it triggers workflow 2. So that's what we are planning to do in just a minute. And then this one triggers workflow 2. We'll do just some 1 + 1, 2, but it is going to go in Node.js. All right, so let's start quick N8N node integration, let's say. cd bun init. I love bun. I really started it recently. I know it for a very long time, but I started it in 2 last projects. It's much faster. I like it. Alrighty, so we have it here, at least a hello world. I think that's good, but let's prompt this thing in a way that... Can you please set a timer for 5 seconds? After 5 seconds, call a URL, just open a URL that is google.com. Alrighty. This looks good. That's exactly what we will be looking for. So after 5 seconds of delay from this program, then we will just execute it. So basically, if I go, what was it called? Index. And then after 5 seconds, we should visit that place. Nice. It needs to be actually Axios. Or fetch would be better so that we don't install any, but that's okay. It's the era of fast programming, so I don't mind. Alrighty, so we have this, and this URL becomes a webhook from N8N. Let's go create our workflow here. So the first thing, first we need to put a trigger. So the trigger could be, I'm not sure what triggers do we have in N8N. So let's see the triggers. Do we have a click trigger? Add another trigger. Yeah, click manually. Gonna get rid of that. Okay, so when I click, I directly would like to go to that URL and then it comes back. Maybe we can do something else. Maybe we can click it, go to that URL. I think it is an HTTP request. Yep, that. This URL becomes the URL where this thing is listening to. So let's make this an... Can you please make this as an Express.js endpoint? Okay. Okay. Looks good to me. So let's fetch Google. Let's call it do something. Or add numbers, let's say. And if I run this again, it's not, but I'm still, oh, there's something wrong. Okay, so I have port number 3000 for something else. Let's make it this port number. Perfect. I'm gonna just test it out with my Postman. Do something. Was it a post or a get? Oh, sorry, add numbers. Perfecto. So it is, no, it's not running. It went to, okay, perfect, it's okay. It just sends back the message. That's just google.com, but we won't need this. We'll come back to that in a minute. So what else we need is an ngrok that's running on this port. As I said, it's not a beginner's tutorial, so I will not explain what is a reverse proxy and how this thing works. And we'll just go and we will put it here and then add numbers. That should do the job, I think. If I test this step, I get back something at least here. Wonderful. So that's pretty much how I would do this. And since I said like we're gonna trigger one more event, so I will do this. So that is done. On the done, I don't know, since I said I'm not so good with N8N, it is a no-code tool and I'm super deep in coding. So I don't know what should I do next after this. Could be like a chat trigger or a Slack or an email or what. It depends on the workflow you want to build, but I'll just leave it here. And what I would like to do is I'd like to be honest, let's go back. Let's call it workflow 1. And let's go to workflows. Let's go to preview first. That's workflow 1. Let's create a new workflow. Let's call it workflow 2. And here, the trigger would be a webhook. The webhook can be this one. So there's like a test production and so on. So let's go with production. Get, it doesn't matter. I will just trigger something so that it becomes the trigger becomes this URL basically. If we visit this URL, we're basically communicating back from our Node script to that URL. So I'm not going to send anything here. I think this should do the job. I think just returning OK is OK so that it doesn't dwell forever. Let's fix it with Composer. It's just because it's not used. I think it's underscore or something. OK. No, it's hallucinating again. We're not needing these two numbers. Or let's just console log. Yeah. Just so that we can shut the mouth of the TypeScript. To be honest, I'm doing TypeScript for a very long time now, almost 8 years, 9 years, but JavaScript for more than 17 years. And considering this right now, what we are trying to do here, often I'm doing my POCs, especially those POCs that are super fast to, like I need to do something to kind of like do it fast. I don't do it with TypeScript because of this kind of like extra boilerplate that you need to do in order for this to run and work. I'm not sure if the auto reload is correct. Let's try it out one more time. All right, perfect. Failed to fetch Google, that's fine. It's only because of this error. The best would be, well, my OCD brain got involved. Let's just get rid of that. Alrighty, no, my OCD brain is not gonna hijack this session. Okay, now that is done. I should have, let's click this. This is now listening to this. So we do a quick test. How do we do a quick test? It's copied here, and if we visit that URL, it should trigger. Yeah, there we go. It is triggering, and it is basically going to that other N8N workflow. So I'm not sure what do I have here. I don't want to share anything personal. I want to touch one more possibility of N8N, but it has a lot of things to do. So maybe, is there anything that I can scrape? Actually, let's touch AI agents. So I'll add AI agents here. I will, since I get, maybe I can also do one more thing. I can turn this webhook into a post, and the post will, let's use Postman. The post webhook will send in the body something like, I don't know, some payload that has hello world. Okay, let's make sure that it's listening. This listen for production. Why? Problem running workflow. Please resolve outstanding issues. Let's resolve that. I think it's this one. Okay. Okay. Copy. I think the URL changed. So no, it didn't change. Perfect. And we got headers, body, payload, hello world. Perfect. And what we can do now is add AI agents, as we said, and so let's go create normal tool text. The source for prompt could be fixed. Let's define it below. What do you think is the payload that we received? I think that's enough. Okay, we need to pick the model. Okay, this is now the end of my N8N knowledge. Where do I pick the model? The chat model subnode. Okay, it's a subnode. Now I remember it. It is here. So you can pick a model. Let's pick ChatGPT. I think I already have configured it. Yes. Perfect. I think that should be it. And if I test this workflow, it should give me an output. Or we can also test it just in here. Send request 404. Okay, because this listening is stopped. So I'm gonna send it from Postman. Nice. And we got an output, not here, but probably here. Okay, let's actually put it in active and publish it, and then we do the whole testing at once. So that's fine. I'm always skeptic that whether the URL changes or not. No, it's not changing. So apparently now it's running. There we go. And we got hello world is da da da. So now what we have done, I just do a recap, is now if we take this URL, one thing that I do sometimes is, you'll laugh at this, is that, can you please change the request to a post and see the screenshot, take all the details from there. Since AI is almost like a human brain, a PhD IQ at best, so why not to give all the information like that? I think it's okay. Please, let's make sure that that is running. Let's make sure that this URL is in the first workflow. Yes, do save it, please. This particular one, I'm not sure if we need to keep it active because we're gonna click it anyways. So double check that. All good. Test. We should see a log here. Perfect. It is happening. And let's go then. Let's just make sure that we have one-click test workflow. Okay, one-click test workflow. So let's click test workflow, Resource you're requesting could not be found. Why not? The resource you're requesting cannot be found. Oh yeah, this is the wrong one. We need to take this and then add numbers. So this slash add dash numbers. Failed. Let's test it just with Postman first. Failed to fetch. Okay, it's an internal server error. Okay, it's actually looking for two query parameters. So num1, num2. So num1, 1, num2, 2. Still, let's see what is undefined, undefined. No, it is 1, 1, but why is it failing? Okay, maybe it's failing here. Let's put error to see what is exactly the error. Seeing that. Okay, 404. Okay, this other one is failing. This guy is failing. So let's make this for now something. I think it was one of these ones, right? Yep, that's 404. Let's see why the other one is down. The other workflow is down. This webhook. Production. Did I not publish this? I think when I say active, it should be able to run from outside, but let's check this out, okay? Oh, I see. Let's keep this here. No, these are the execution logs, but let's keep it here and trigger it from here. It says 404. Okay, this is now, yeah, let's just do it like this. This is just a small issue of, I don't know exactly where to click on. This is test production. Let's make it production URL. No way. Why does it say it? Oh, it's post, and we are doing a get. Perfect. So let's make sure that we are not exactly. So it is running regardless of we open it and listen to it or not. So what I like about this is this execution. So we'll see here 10:06, 10:06. If I do another one, I should see a new execution coming here. There we go. 47, and then it went on. 47 seconds, right? And then it basically ran the entire execution, and then we got the output from ChatGPT. Now let's update this URL here. I'm not sure if it was the same one, right? And let's get the just double checking everything so that we can see the entire workflow going from A to B to C. and num1 equal to 1 and num2 equal to 2. Test it. Perfecto. We're just good to go, I think. Now, it is 10:07. Save. Workflow 2. Executions, we don't have. Okay, it's already 10:08, so we don't have any more executions there. Workflow 1. Test. It's going up and down, and Node.js back to workflow 2. Execution 10:08. There we go. And also, if we see our endpoint executions, not sure if it's this one or this one. 10:08. Okay, that's a question. Why did I not see logs here? We can check this in another session, but at least what I saw right now is like I triggered one workflow from here, it went down to my computer, executed something, and then it executed another workflow here. So what we get from this is that we basically can have n8n run everything. And workflows like this, that n8n does not have a nice LinkedIn scraper. I can do the LinkedIn scraping myself using, let's say, WebTop or computer use or OpenAI's operator or Relevance AI's LinkedIn scraper. And then the workflow will be, like one workflow will be doing something here. And then when it comes to LinkedIn scraping, it triggers one LinkedIn scraping on Relevance AI, and then it puts a scheduler and checks every 30 minutes that whether or not the LinkedIn scraping on Relevance AI was finished or not, because I did 1,000 LinkedIn profiles scraping on Relevance AI. I put a YouTube video on my YouTube channel a couple of days ago. It took something around 3 hours to scrape all those 1,000 LinkedIn profiles. Imagine a use case like this, that you have, I don't know, 20,000 LinkedIn profiles to scrape, and it's 100% or 98% autonomous AI agents. What your workflow would look like on n8n is that it, as a schedule, every 1 hour it checks whether or not Relevance AI scraping is done or not. I'm not 100% sure if, actually I'm like 90% sure, now I remember it. On Relevance AI, it takes one CSV file and then it keeps scraping. So imagine this, that your workflow can have a logic that every 10 minutes it goes, fetches the rows that are already scraped from Relevance AI. So you have one process here running on Relevance AI that was triggered from n8n that is fetching LinkedIn profiles. And then another workflow in n8n that grabs every 10 minutes the profiles that were scraped by Relevance AI. So this, what I have just shown you, is absolutely possible to interface it with Relevance AI, absolutely possible to interface it with your local Node.js or deployed Node.js or Python or whatever endpoint that you have built. The bottom line of what I've just shared with you guys is that API and webhook, these two basically connects the entire outer world to n8n. And I think this is awesome. What I would like to do is maybe not in this kind of like a raw video production, but in a more prepared video production, so that I can kind of like create a nice tutorial and take an entire example, a tangible example of kind of like create an AI agent in 4 hours that does your LinkedIn outreach extremely, extremely tailored to your niche. For example, for myself, I'm an AI engineer freelancing in Germany, building AI agents for SMEs and bookkeeping sector, for logistic companies. So it's a really niche place. And also at the same time, I'm interested in SMEs between like 100 to 250 employees. Again, a data point that can be found on LinkedIn. Whether or not we can find those kind of APIs is another thing. Like one of the things that I'm specializing in, maybe I can quickly show you guys what I'm trying to say is, like, I'm super deep focused on bookkeeping, anything invoicing, anything VAT, tax, reconciliation, and so on, you name it. I'm trying to specialize on that specific corner. And what I'm really focusing on is this without API automation. Because with API automation, we just saw it, it's super simple. Like, you just call, it's the old computer science 101, or web development 101. You send an API request, you have an API and a webhook. Basically, you can automate the whole thing. But this new notion of creating a workflow by using stuff like computer use or operator, those are extremely early stage projects. And to be honest, I'm working on something myself. I'm not sure if it's running or not. It's a Docker container. Yes, it's running. That I mounted a Linux on my computer, and it's basically an operating system. I can run things and I can do things here, and those things are basically same as we do on a daily basis in a computer. So basically, I could potentially create a clone of computer use or operator if I have the enough resources and budget, but I won't do that because they are doing it better and I will just use them. So bottom line, the workflows would be in a way that, let's go back to that example I give, that I want to serve those companies having 100 to 250 employees. If they have 1,000, 2,000 employees, this is not a good fit for me because I know that the bureaucracy of the procurement and everything is so super different. This is something you can do. How you can do it? You go to LinkedIn, you go to their company profile, and then you click on their people. At least there's one data point on LinkedIn sitting there, but I'm sure Relevance AI, one of the good automation platforms out there doing LinkedIn scraping in a bulk way, they do not provide this kind of information, or they do, I don't know. What I can do is that I can go to my Ubuntu, create a workflow that has LinkedIn access and knows the workflow. About this, I created another YouTube video. I will, you can search it on my YouTube channel. So basically, with that approach, I can literally automate a workflow that is that specific. Like, I can create an AI agent that does all these things that I just mentioned earlier, N8N, Node.js, Relevance AI, and then every 10 minutes it scrapes new LinkedIn profiles, and maybe every 20 minutes it reconciles and then goes back to the scrape LinkedIn profiles, find their company page, find how many employees are there. This is a new data point, and then the LLM will decide, or even like just an if condition will decide that, okay, these guys, this company is not super relevant for AML. So let's find the next one, the next one, the next one. And it's an autopilot. It goes like 24/7, 365. What I will end up having on my inbox is a connection request sent to the right person. The first greetings happened in the right way, and I just have my phone with me. And even if we think about another solution that, let's say we put an O1 model on the top of all the workflows, and every 30 minutes, let's say whatever time slicing we did, after every 5 messages or so, if another deep thinking model is overseeing all these activities on the past 5 messages went out to people on LinkedIn, and it decides that, oh, that looks suspicious, that looks a bad message, and it sends a WhatsApp message to me, and then I can go to my LinkedIn and I say, oh yeah, that's wrong, and I can edit and fix it. So I was having a VA for 3 years, and I used to do these workflows with her, and her name was Diana. She's a very nice lady. She helped me a lot. Thank you, Diana, if you're watching this video. So we had this workflow set up in between us. That she had my LinkedIn access. She was reaching out to people, and whenever there was like a communication or something, she would take a screenshot, send it to me on WhatsApp, and then I would answer on WhatsApp. She would copy my answer, send it back to LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is like overloaded. At least at the time, it was overloaded for me. So now I can like think that these kind of workflows, today it's possible. Imagine when we have computer use from Anthropic and Operator from OpenAI and so many other companies right now doing things like that, even Chrome extensions doing workflows like that. That is the awesome tool set that any AI agent developer can have. So in my opinion, this is the best time to build AI agents, especially in Germany. And SMEs, that sector that I mentioned, I'm trying to serve. It's already too late to join the party of AI, but it's not too late. Let's do it this year. Why? Because it can be 100% AI Act or EU AI Act compliant. It can be 100% GDPR compliant because we have models running literally in Berlin, in the soil, in the servers. I have good connections and relationships with this company called Amy. They provide servers that they run Llama 3.x models in their servers, and they charge you on per request basis. Or you can go with SAP, kind of like bridge ChatGPT instance. You can go with Microsoft Azure ChatGPT instance. Those are 100% compliant. There is no more excuse for SMEs saying that, hey, is it GDPR compliant? What about data privacy? We don't want to send data to America. And so I also don't want to do that. I want to serve in this country for a long time, and I want to do it the right way. So let's get involved in a conversation. If you are working in an SME and you think that what I just showed you can help a workflow there with you guys, it's the time to make Germany great again. Thanks.